Parents always left me behind when going out with my siblings, and everyone called me a mistake but yours. They left again, the front door slamming like a gavel on my heart. I was 12, standing in the empty living room, the echo of their laughter fading down the driveway. By 16, I'd learned to stop waiting for an invitation that never came. Emma Grayson wasn't supposed to exist. That's what my older brother, Jake, said once, half joking, half cruel. When he thought I couldn't hear, my sister, Lily, giggled, and my parents didn't correct them. I was the third child, the unplanned one, the one who arrived when mom and dad's marriage was already fraying. Family photos lined our mantle, Jake's soccer trophies, Lily's ballet recitals, mom and dad's anniversary trips, but I was rarely in them. I stood at the edge, a blurry afterthought. Every weekend, they'd pile into the car for ice cream runs, movie nights, or beach trips, and I'd hear the same excuse. "Oh, Emma, we thought you were at a friend's." I had no friends. The pattern started when I was 8. I'd sit on the couch, homework spread out, pretending I didn't care as they planned their outings. Mom would fuss over Lily's hair, Dad would ruffle Jake's, and I'd be invisible. Once, I ran to the car as they backed out, waving frantically. Dad rolled down the window, confused. "Emma, we're just grabbing dinner. Stay here." Okay, I nodded, throat tight, and watched the taillights disappear. At school, kids noticed. "Why's your family always out without you?" they'd ask. Jake's friends were worse. Mistake. They'd whisper, snickering. I'd laugh it off, but each jab carved a little deeper. By high school, the neglect had hardened into something sharper. I stopped begging to join them. Instead, I built a world in my room, books, sketches, a second-hand guitar I taught myself to play. I wrote stories about a girl who ran away to find a family that saw her, but the hurt lingered, a bruise that never faded. I started noticing how Mom's eyes slid past me at dinner, how Dad's rare smiles were reserved for Jake's game recaps or Lily's dance videos. They weren't cruel, just absent, like I was a guest in my own home. The tension grew quietly, a slow burn I didn't fully grasp until I was 17. It was a Saturday, and they'd gone to the county fair without me. Again. I sat on my bed, strumming my guitar, when I found an old photo tucked in a drawer, a rare one of me as a toddler, smiling with Mom. She looked tired, her smile strained. I wondered if that's when it started, this unspoken resentment. I wasn't planned like Jake, the golden boy, or Lily, the perfect daughter. I was the extra weight, the complication. That night, I made a decision. I'd stop being invisible. I started small, leaving my sketches on the kitchen table, playing my guitar louder, speaking up at dinner even when they ignored me. They noticed, but not in the way I hoped. Mom sighed. "Emma, can you keep it down?" Dad muttered about my attitude. Jake rolled his eyes and Lily just scrolled her phone. I felt like I was shouting into a void. The breaking point came a month before my 18th birthday. It was Jake's graduation party, a big event at our house. Neighbors, relatives, and Jake's friends filled the backyard with music and laughter. I wasn't invited, not officially, but I helped set up, hoping for a scrap of acknowledgement. I spent hours stringing fairy lights and arranging tables, my hands sticky from lemonade pitchers. When the party started, Mom handed me a tray of snacks and said, "Just keep things tidy." Okay, I was the help, not a guest. As the night wore on, I watched from the kitchen window. Jake was the center of attention, Dad clapping his shoulder, Mom beaming. Lily danced with her friends, her laughter bright. I was wiping counters when I overheard Aunt Clara, tipsy on wine, say to Mom, "3 kids must be tough." Emma was unexpected. Right. Mom laughed, a little too sharply. "Oh, you have no idea." My chest burned. I dropped the sponge and walked out the back door, past the party, into the dark street. I wandered for hours, the cool night air stinging my face. I ended up at the park, sitting on a swing, replaying every moment I'd been left behind. The word mistake echoed in my head, louder than ever. But something shifted. I wasn't the mistake they were. Their neglect, their dismissal, their refusal to see me. I wasn't invisible. They were blind. The next morning, I didn't go home. I crashed at a coffee shop, using my savings to buy a muffin and a plan. I'd been accepted to a small art college across the state, with a partial scholarship I hadn't told anyone about. I'd been too scared to believe in it, but now it felt like a lifeline. I spent the day filling out forms, emailing the admissions office, and arranging a dorm. By evening, I went back home to pack. When I walked in, the house was quiet. The party mess was still there. Empty cups, crumpled napkins. No one had noticed I was gone. I packed my clothes, my guitar, and my sketches, leaving behind the family photos. I wrote a note, "I'm leaving for college. Don't worry, you won't miss me." I left it on the kitchen table, next to a drawing I'd made of us years ago, back when I still hoped. The confrontation came the next day. I was at the bus station, my bags at my feet, when Mom called. "Emma, where are you? What's this note?" Her voice was sharp, more annoyed than concerned. I took a breath. "I'm leaving. I got into college. I've been trying to tell you, but you never listen." There was silence. Then a flustered, "Why didn't you say anything?" I laughed. Bitter. "I did. Every day. You just didn't hear me." Dad got on the phone, his tone gruff. "This is dramatic. Emma, come home, we'll talk." But I was done talking. "You had years to talk," I said, "and you chose not to. I'm choosing myself now." I hung up, my hands shaking, and boarded the bus. College was hard at first. The dorm was small, the city unfamiliar, but for the first time, I felt seen. My art professor praised my sketches, saying they had raw, honest emotion. Classmates invited me to coffee, to gallery openings. I joined a music club, playing my guitar for people who actually listened. Slowly, I built a life that wasn't defined by being left behind. Back home, things unraveled for my family. Jake's ego, fed by years of coddling, led to a public fight at his new job. He was fired within a month. Lily, used to being the center of attention, struggled when her dance team dropped her for someone more dedicated. Mom and Dad's marriage, already strained, cracked under the weight of their guilt. They started calling me, leaving voicemails about making things right. I didn't answer, not out of spite, but because I was finally free. A year later, I got a letter from Mom. It was long, messy, full of apologies. She admitted they'd taken me for granted, that they'd been so focused on Jake and Lily, they didn't know how to fit me in. Dad wrote a shorter note, saying he was proud of my art, that he'd seen my college gallery show online. Jake and Lily didn't write, but Mom said they were figuring things out. I read the letters, then tucked them away. I wasn't ready to forgive, but I didn't hate them either. I just didn't need them anymore. Now, at 19, I'm not the girl left behind. I'm Emma Grayson, artist, musician, friend. My latest sketch, a self-portrait, hangs in the college gallery, and it's not blurry or on the edge. It's bold, centered, alive. My family's neglect shaped me, but it didn't break me. It taught me to build my own world, one where I'm never invisible. What do you think? Was Emma right to walk away? Or should she have stayed to fix things? Share your thoughts.